up, my boys?
We are in Faro for the first time.
So the reason why we wanted to start in Faro today is because this old town of Faro is aesthetically pleasing and it's incredible, charming and relaxing walking in. And that will be the theme for this video, because we are going to stay at this amazing boutique hotel that we have been invited to. It's called Farmhouse of the Palms, and I'm so excited to show you. One of the reasons why we think this old town of Faro is so charming is obviously because there's so many pockets of history in here. This town is so super old. It was first built by the Roman people, and then after time the Maoris took over and the Portuguese finally got their hands on it as well. But a lot of the old towns here on the coastline of Algarve was ruined by the earthquake in 1755. But not this one.
From Faro, it takes 22 minutes to drive to the farmhouse, 25 minutes from Olhão, and 30 minutes-ish from Tavira. So even though the farmhouse is tucked away up here in the mountain, it's still close to everything. But before we show this amazing farmhouse, we just have to do a quick stop at the town 5 minutes down the road. São Portugal has an old center, an old town, and this is it. And this is by far the most charming part of it, because as soon as you step out of it, it's not, beautiful. But this church here is really interesting because back in the day they were so poor here that they didn't have the tiles to put in front of the church, so they had to use old graves. So what you see here is not actual people buried, but the tombstones they brought from, well, I don't know how they picked the ones, because if my family, I'd be like, well, please let them be.
So this town is also where you want to go for your nice Portuguese dinner while staying at Farmhouse of the Palms, because they have heaps of different restaurants. They even have pizza and Indian food.
The restaurant we are eating at tonight is called Sabores de Campo. But we're not gonna show you the food in this video. We'll save that for our Algarve food tour. Let's get back to the farmhouse and show you what this video is really about.
Good morning, guys, and welcome to Farmhouse of the Palms.
I think the good in the good morning is redundant when you look at this incredible morning breakfast table. Holy cow, it's milk in here. Today is going to be a wonderful day. We're gonna take you through the ins and outs and why this is one of the most spectacular places we have ever been. But Amalie, give a breakdown of the breakfast.
What we are having today is the full breakfast that they serve here. We have a bowl of fruits that I think you get every day. This is the specialty of the day, which is an avocado toast with eggs and tomato. Then we have a smoothie, which is also something they change every day. Today it's a beetroot smoothie with kiwi. And you have this beautiful basket. Oh my god. Of course you need something to put on top of all the delicious bread. So we have cheese, we have butter, we have some, what do you call it, toppings?
Cheers on that, Amalie, and let's get this day started.
The name Farmhouse of the Palms is actually a translation from the original name of this farmhouse. The original name was Mont das Palmeiras, which means Farmhouse of the Palms. And the 3 beautiful palms standing in the back here are the reason of the name.
Monte means mountain in Portuguese, but actually it also refers to the constellation of the buildings here. So Monte das Palmeiras means it's a collection of houses basically, and you have a courtyard going through here as a center point. You have the quintas, then you have the montes, and then you have Haddades. So for example, Haddade dos Cruz, which is a huge winery.
The main house on this farm is this house, and it's 300 years old. Some of the other buildings are newer, but when the couple who has this place bought it, it was completely different. It was an old but beautiful farm, but they redid everything. So now we have the crispy white walls, but all the nice old features has still been maintained here, and that is some of the things we're going to highlight on this little house tour.
So what I like most about this Mont is that you have a courtyard here and narrow streets, so you feel like you're walking around in, Alfama.
One of the things that is amazing about this place is that they have maintained so many historic monuments, if you will, like the stones that you have in the entire courtyard here. They are probably as old as the house. One of the reasons why you can see how old they are is because they are not shaped into squares like normal cobblestones we see today are, because back in the days they didn't have the techniques to make them so beautiful and square, so they just put them down and smashed them in, and then over time the rain and the dirt and everything has shaped them into perfectly beautiful soft stone to walk on.
So the principle behind Frank and Veronique, who have made this dream come true, is that everything, as much as possible, is Portuguese and made in Portugal. So one example is the tiles here. They make these tiles in a nearby place. Just before they dry, they brush through with 4 fingers to give them a design feature. It's basically for aesthetic reasons. I thought they were original, but yeah.
But guys, let's go inside, because it gets even more magical when you enter the front door. So the first thing you are greeted with when you enter the front door are this amazing room. It's almost like being inside a church, Oh. But look at the ceiling. This was very typical to make this kind of architecture before the earthquake. But when the earthquake came, a lot of the houses that has this kind of structure, they collapsed. So after that, they decided to probably not do that again. When you are in here, you see this beautiful staircase and these amazing floor tiles. I mean, look at these beautiful stone formations here. These stones are 300 years old. Here they have the tiles that you spoke about earlier. They go through all the house. And as you can see, it does look like they have been here since the beginning of the building. Back in the days, this was the main entrance to enter the first floor. But because it was too narrow and too difficult for people to enter that way, they actually smashed down a room and a wall over there to do a staircase that was more wide and easier to access.
But we'll get, this is the entrance to our room, but we'll get there later.
Oh yeah, later. Come in here, guys. Because what is the living room today used to be the kitchen. And of course we know that because they have this beautiful, beautiful kitchen. What do you call it?
It's
Suction hood. The hood.
The hood.
Yeah.
A very big hood.
Today this is the living room, and they have made a beautiful job decorating this for a hotel. One of the features that I really like in here is of course the dried tree. It's exactly like the one that we saw outside, and what it reminds me most of is actually Susuflé in Namibia, where we went and saw this dried out lake. One of the themes that goes through this entire space is actually that they have tried to have as much local produce from this area where they are in, and also a lot of flea market stuff.
And I think that is one of the things that make this place extra special, because instead of just buying all the right stuff from all kinds of international furniture brands, they've spent a lot of time picking the right ones and spending time on finding it. And finding the right thing really is the challenge.
And by the way, again, you have the original stones formation for the staircase. So amazing. In here they have created a little bit more of atmosphere by using these like blue-gray doors. It looks amazing.
Is there anything behind them?
I've been thinking the same, but I haven't dared to look.
This place is so Instagram friendly that they often have shoots here for magazines. They even won Best Rural Hotel in Portugal. This is an typical Portuguese stone oven. This is where they make some of the best Portuguese food you will ever find, and we actually had food in one of these up north when we went to Tasquinha do Fumo. These are the features that truly makes us in love with this place, because it's everywhere that you find quirks.
So even though design and interior plays a huge role here, this is not what you come for. You come to relax and to unwind and to enjoy this beautiful place. And they have made sure here that you have heaps of area just to relax in. Clearly, the best place to relax is here by the pool.
Oh my goodness, especially on a day like this when you have clear skies and squirrels. So we just had some wine, a nap, and the mood is high. But now we wanted to tell a few stories about the trees here, because we are in God's garden. And this is a pomegranate tree. And the interesting thing about pomegranate is that you need a bee to fertilize the flower to get a pomegranate. So if you don't have the bee, you don't have the pomegranate apple. I think it's super interesting. I mean, bees are so cool. I love bees. This is a money tree, literally.
So the carob trees does have the carob beans, and the carob beans is what is said to be the black gold here in this area, and that is because the beans and the bells right here, when they turn all black, they are ready. You take them down, and what you sell is the bean. The bean gets pulverized and it's used for everything. It's like a natural thickener. So you use it for creams, shampoos.
500 euros per kilo.
They usually say that if you want to provide for your great-grandchildren, you should provide them with a tree like this, because it takes so long to grow before the beans are ready.
These are basically the seeds of the palm, and believe it or not, you have male and female, and this is a female, and this is something that grows out and then it drops on the floor, and potentially a new palm tree will grow up. We are special guests, so we are allowed to take one with us home to Lisbon. Okay.
Where's my strong hubby?
He said it was like butter. Okay. Guys, you're probably wondering, where are we sleeping? Amalie, It's time for another house tour.
So when you come up here, you have 2 rooms, ours and another room. But what you really see when you come up here is this amazing old ceiling. It almost looks like it's clay and bricks or something. It looks beautiful. Let's go to the bedroom. Come.
Hallelujah.
I mean, how big is this? I love this room. I mean, it's giant. You have so much space. Again, of course, since we are at the same farmhouse, the details in the interior is the same, but I love how they have maintained the old fireplace in the corner here with fire in, even though you can't burn that fire, it's just decorative. You also have a lot of decorative materials from the nature, so they have a lot of dried flowers and branches. We actually got inspired by this place, so all this in this little vase here is something that we pulled out of the earth 2 days ago when we got here. I was like, yes, I need to bring this home. It looks beautiful.
And look at the view we got here out of the window. It is, oh, it's so spectacular. I can't get enough of this view here.
No.
So the bathroom is ultra minimalistic. This is the most simplistic bathroom I've ever been in, probably.
We love it.
Have you been in the, Amelia, she's like, But if you think that is all we got, you're wrong, because we got 2 rooftops. And this is the first one. Here you get a closer look to the pool. We haven't spent much time here because
our room is this amazing rooftop with this beautiful bed that we are now eating our dinner on. So for us today, we just wanted to make our own dinner, so we went and grocery shopped some tapas.
yesterday when we had dinner at Sabores do Campo down here in São Brás al Portel, we were given this bottle of wine from the owner at the restaurant. The most underrated wine in Portugal is from Algarve, because no one ever talks about wine from Algarve. And this is a very special wine because it's made on a wine grape that you will only find here in Algarve. This is the only place you will find Negra Mole. So, very special wine, and that also explains a very special color.
On the warm summer evenings, you can actually sleep up here. This is a bed that is in use for outdoor sleeping. So if you want to sleep here, they will prepare the bed for you and make it cozy and nice and warm. But tonight it's too cold, so we are gonna sleep downstairs in the actual bed. But this is a thing that makes this hotel very unique.
It's been a pleasure to show this amazing place to you guys, and we hope you enjoyed it too. So there's nothing more to say than obrigado por ver o vídeo. Até logo.
Até logo.